Mangrove Swamps by Caleb Buchanan
and Emily Kirkwood. Location: mangrove swamps are coastal wetlands found in the tropical and subtropical regions. They are found in estuaries where fresh water meets salt water. In North America, they are found from the southern tip of Florida along the Gulf Coast to Texas. Florida's southwest coast supports one of the largest mangrove swamps in the world. The Sundarbans is the largest mangrove forest in the world, located in the Ganges River Delta in Bangladesh and West Bengal, India. The salinity level is an average of 34.5%. Water flows are slow, which cause a bursting population of bacteria and other decomposers and filter feeders. Turbidity: silt suspended in the water in estuaries cause the water to be turbid. Plants: the plants in this biome are fern algae, red mangroves, wine-glass algae, mermaid fan algae, three-fingerleaf algae, and hibiscus. Some animals in this biome are crocodiles, oysters, blue heron, mangrove crabs, iguanas, and gray angelfish. An endangered species is the Bengal tiger. These tigers are endangered because of habitat loss caused by deforestation and hunting by human poachers.
Here we have an example of a food web for the mangrove swamp system. As always, the sun provides energy for photosynthesis to the producer, which in this case is the mangrove trees. The mangrove trees produce leaf litter, which is then eaten by both the fiddler crab and the sheepshead fish. The sheepshead fish are eaten by humans, which are primary hunters of the fish, and they are also eaten by herons. The mangrove trees and the pied oyster catcher bird have a commensalistic relationship. The pied oyster catcher nests in the tree but does not harm nor benefit the tree in any way. The pied oyster catcher also eats the fiddler crabs. Small fish eat algae that grows in the water. All animals breathe out CO2 for mangrove trees. The tree respires oxygen for the animals to, in turn, breathe in. This is a mutualistic relationship. Here we have an example of a food chain for the mangrove swamp system. The sun, as always, provides energy to the producer, which in this case is the mangrove trees. The mangrove trees produce leaf litters, which is then eaten by the fiddler crab. The fiddler crab is eaten by the sheepshead fish, which is then eaten by the blue heron. The blue heron, once they die, just like all other organisms, are decomposed by decomposers such as fungi and mushrooms. Keystone species. A keystone species in the mangrove swamps biome is the fiddler crab. The fiddler crab is vital to the system because it feeds on leaf litter and removes it from the system. The fiddler crab burrows and decreases the sulfide levels in the soil, and this positively influences the productivity of the mangrove trees. Their burrowing also frees nutrients in the soil, breaks up surface algae, and they bury organic soil fertilizing matter that in turn helps the mangrove trees to grow.
Ecosystem services: shoreline stabilization and storm protection. Mangroves stabilize shorelines, which prevent erosion and protects the land and the people who live there from waves and storms. They stabilize the shoreline with an extensive root system that helps prevent erosion. Water purification. Mangrove tree roots filter out pollutants in the water, which help their organisms to live. Mangroves also take large amounts of carbon in and store it. Economic benefits. Fish are an economic benefit of mangrove swamps because many fish are found near mangroves. These fish provide benefits to small fishers or major companies. Mangroves are used by coastal communities for fuel, wood, and charcoal. Mangrove trees are also used for medicinal purposes.
Anthropogenic impacts. Humans impact the mangrove swamp system in many ways. For one, they overharvest mango trees for firewood, construction wood, wood chip production, and other timber uses. They clear mangroves to create room for agriculture and industrial uses. They change the rivers by adding dams and irrigation, and this reduces the amount of water that reaches the mangroves. This also changes the water's salinity, and the salinity changes can kill the mangrove trees. Humans also overfish, and this alters the ecological balance of food chains in the mangrove swamp system. And lastly, humans pollute the mangrove swamps with fertilizers, pesticides, and other toxic man-made chemicals that go into the system by runoff and other ways.
The nitrogen cycle is displayed in this biome when the plants take up nitrogen from the soil, and the nitrogen is released from the plants when animals eat them and when the plants are cut down or decomposed.